and just be healthy and do what you think you can do. It's a hard thing to do.
And to repeat history conversations, you must be prepared not just for the question, but for the answer that comes.
As anticipation builds for the high-stakes showdown between the iconic Manny Pacquiao and world champion Mario Barrios, the boxing world is buzzing with predictions, debates, and passionate commentary. Opinions are deeply divided, with some believing that Pacquiao's trademark speed, unique angles, and constant forward pressure will prove overwhelming for Barrios. Others argue that Pacquiao may have finally overreached, facing a younger, naturally larger, and more physically prime opponent. From veterans like Errol Spence Jr. to respected voices like Sean Porter, everyone is chiming in on what feels like a defining moment. The central question persists: can the 46-year-old Filipino legend defy age and time one more time, or is this the night a new era begins with Barrios seizing the spotlight?
Travis Hartman with weighing in with Travis Hartman. I'm going to weigh in on the Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios fight. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years old. Yes. Mario Barrios is a world champion. Yes. But I'm going to pick Manny Pacquiao. The southpaw from the Philippines, the Hall of Famer, the 8-division world champion. He is going to muster up enough from the past to come in here and beats Mario Barrios. And I'm going to roll with Manny Pacquiao for a decision over Mario Barrios in Vegas this Saturday on Amazon Prime pay-per-view. But also, Mario Barrios is going to pose a lot of threats versus Manny Pacquiao because he's a lot taller, he's a lot longer, and he's younger. And he's a world champion. It's for the WBC world title. Manny Pacquiao's first fight after being retired for 5 or 6 years now. And he chooses a world title fight. Manny Pacquiao by decision.
When someone of Sugar Ray Leonard's stature speaks on boxing, the entire community listens. Reflecting on his own journey back into the ring after retirement, Leonard draws parallels with Pacquiao's comeback. He emphasizes that returning after a long break isn't just about the physical grind, it's a mental war. You've got to get used to getting hit again, Leonard notes. You've got to embrace that tough training all over again. It's more about your mindset, your emotional toughness. According to Leonard, if anyone has the mental fortitude, it's Pacquiao. There's a chance he might just know exactly how to pull it off again.
Actually, I can't comment too harshly on that because I made more comebacks than everybody. I hold the record, undisputed. You know?
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, do what you want to do. You know what, man? It's all up here and it's here. It's what you got. It's what you lose. Again, there's no way to answer this, but stay healthy.
Leonard continues the comparison, referencing his own 1987 return to face Marvin Hagler. He underscores that Pacquiao's biggest battle may not be in his physical condition, but in how well he can mentally adjust to the brutal demands of elite competition. The preparation, Leonard insists, must be holistic, melding physical readiness with a laser-sharp focus and emotional resilience that only seasoned champions possess.
What kind of challenges he's going to face, having been a great fighter yourself and him comparable in career-wise. What kind of challenges do you think he's going to face, and any advice on him doing things a certain way that maybe you found you did a mistake or this and that, give or take?
You know what? When I came back that one horrible time, it was all me. It was my mindset. It was the way I thought. I believe I could win. I trained hard, but you know what? I won't do it again. You know what I mean? I won't do it again. But I can't tell someone don't do that. But I made too many comments.
Mm-hmm. As for Manny, just any advice for him at all?
Just be healthy and do what you think you can do. It's a hard thing to answer.
Bernard Hopkins, one of the sport's longest-reigning legends and the oldest boxer to win a world title, sees something of himself in Pacquiao's current pursuit. Speaking candidly, Hopkins praised Pacquiao's willingness to chase greatness once more. "I'm pulling for Manny because if anyone can defy the odds, it's him," Hopkins said. He acknowledges Barrios' talent and speed, calling him a solid B+ fighter, but remains confident Pacquiao could win via decision.
Hopkins doesn't foresee a knockout, but sees a smart, tactical victory within reach.
If Pacquiao's successful, he will become tied with the record I set and broke from George Foreman as the oldest champion to win a major title in the light heavyweight division in boxing. That's there. Fact check it. Fact check it is there. That's your generation. Y'all fact check a lot. I got a daughter that's 26. So and I got a nephew that's 18, 19, all between 17 and 30, all in between. They keep me up on game. They keep me up on all the fact check. So I'm letting you know. That's one of the reasons Pacquiao is coming out to do that. And other reasons too, but that's one of the major.
In his own words, Pacquiao shared that this return isn't fueled by media buzz or public expectation, it's rooted in something far deeper. After leaving the sport in 2021, he discovered that politics, despite its prestige, couldn't fill the void boxing once occupied. He missed the daily grind, the intense training camps, the press conferences, the sparring. That nostalgia slowly reignited his competitive fire. With his body healed after 4 years of rest, Pacquiao feels rejuvenated, not just physically, but emotionally. For him, this comeback isn't just about reclaiming glory, but about reconnecting with his first love.
I'm coming back because, like I said, boxing is always my passion, and I miss boxing for how many years? All years I stopped boxing. I always thinking boxing, and even in my house I have a boxing ring, boxing gym, and I always work out every day, like playing basketball, playing badminton. So I really love exercise, and I really miss boxing.
How much of this comeback is about money, if at all?
No, the comeback, the reason why I come back is because I want to, I miss boxing. I mean, I want to be a champion again. And I can still that. In my heart, in my mind, I can still be a champion.
The July 19, 2025 bout against Mario Barrios is more than just another fight, it marks a pivotal moment in Pacquiao's decorated career. At 46, he's defying expectations by stepping back into the ring after a 4-year hiatus. But Pacquiao's goals stretch beyond this singular match. If victorious, he's setting his sights on a much bigger prize, a marquee bout with Gervonta Tank Davis, a fight that could shake the sports landscape.
Basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around, look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. For longer deserve a Canelo fight.
Manny, when you beat Barrios, what's next? Are you going to fight Ryan Garcia, Haney, Lopez, Gervonta Davis? Are you ready to go through these fights?
One at a time.
But you want those guys?
We'll
If
see.
you feel
We'll
good?
see. We'll see. We'll see. I always, I cannot say after this I'm going to fight like that, but one at a time. After the fight, we can see, we can talk like.
Sean Gibbons, Pacquiao's longtime advisor, revealed a clear blueprint: win the WBC welterweight title, then make a move toward a high-stakes showdown with Tank Davis. According to Gibbons, this fight has been on Pacquiao's radar for years, and Davis's recent performances have only made the timing feel right. Pacquiao has stated he's open to fighting at either 145 or 147 pounds, showing flexibility and readiness for the high-profile clash.
Gervonta Tank Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight, all right? He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year, so he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and can build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez.
Sugar Ray Leonard also added fuel to the excitement by advocating for a long-awaited rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. For Leonard, it's not about money, it's about legacy and giving boxing fans closure on one of the sport's most hyped rivalries. He believes the rematch would be more than just a spectacle, it would be a monumental event capable of transcending the sport and breathing new life into boxing's mainstream appeal.
Mayweather and Pacquiao. Would you be interested in seeing that rematch?
I mean, yeah. You're at a different stage in your life.
Yeah.
Spiritually, physically, mentally.
Right.
It can be a great fight.
Right.
We'll put it this way. It should be done.
It should be done.
It should be.
It will help boxing in the sport. You think the sport needs it?
In a crazy way.
In a crazy way?
Yeah. I mean, we'll put it this way. You know, and as much people say, when he's 40 years old, people will watch him.
Manny's last fight, he looked phenomenal.
He looks phenomenal.
He looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Mayweather, you know, the last one he fought a kickboxer. He fought, you know, Conor McGregor. You know, his last few fights were too.
Well, when he beat that guy from
the Asian guy. But it was a kickboxer. He was a kickboxer. He wasn't a professional boxer.
I think it's called Tommy Hearn.
Renowned coach Abel Sanchez weighed in with a balanced take. He acknowledges that while Pacquiao may no longer possess the lightning-fast reflexes of his prime, his punching power is still a serious threat. He draws comparisons to George Foreman's knockout win over Michael Moorer in his 40s, implying that power is often the last thing a fighter loses. Sanchez sees a legitimate chance that Pacquiao could pull off a dramatic finish.
Another fight that's coming up is Manny Pacquiao coming back to fight Mario Barrios for the world title. Obviously Pacquiao's been out of the ring for 4 years. He's not had a victory for 6. What do you make of Pacquiao coming straight back into a world title fight?
Well, I think Manny's a great fighter, and I think Manny's got a great career behind him. I think he picked the lesser of the welterweight champions. I think he has a good chance of making it a good fight. Whether he can win or not at this stage, at this age, I should say. Sometimes the mind tells you pull the trigger, but the body can't, you know. So is it going to be that? What is he, 46, 47 years old? Something
Around.
like that? Yeah. Bernard Hopkins was a different kind of animal. Bernard Hopkins never really had the kind of tough fights like Manny's had. So,
veteran trainer Joel Diaz didn't mince words. He's skeptical about Pacquiao's return, pointing to the immense physical toll a 12-round battle can exact on a 46-year-old body. In his view, Barrios has the edge, not just in youth, but in endurance and strength. Diaz fears that Pacquiao may struggle under sustained pressure and ring rust, arguing that while his boxing IQ remains sharp, age-related decline and fatigue could ultimately cost him the fight.
Mario Barrios is younger. He's younger, he's big, he's a big boy. I mean, he still has a little bit more youth in him than Manny. You know, Manny, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mario Barrios is probably same size as Margarito.
So like 5'10", 5'11".
Around there, yeah. And Manny at this age, he shouldn't be fighting. I mean, in my opinion, I respect the man a lot. He gave the sport of boxing his life. He gave us great moments, great memories.
Trainer Greg Hackett voiced similar concerns, suggesting that while Pacquiao's resume is legendary, he may be overestimating what his body can handle at this stage. Hackett warns that stepping into the ring with a young, active fighter like Barrios could pose serious risks, not just for the result, but for Pacquiao's long-term health and legacy. His commentary reflects growing apprehension in the boxing community about aging fighters facing dangerous opposition.
You know what I mean? Beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight. Yeah.
Celebrated coach Robert Garcia also highlighted the unforgiving nature of time. While he respects Pacquiao's illustrious past, Garcia cautions that aging athletes often encounter unexpected physical limitations. Against a younger, more physically dominant opponent, even the most disciplined legends may find themselves vulnerable, especially deep into a grueling contest.
Retirement.
Well, look, Pacquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios a great fight for Barrios because he's a champion, and I think Pacquiao, being that they both have connections with PBC, that's the easiest fight to make. So, getting another title opportunity, I just the name obviously, but I really believe that Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. I think it's actually going to be a little. I don't want to say sad because he's going to make a lot of money, so we can feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for I'm just 4 years older, 3-4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're going to get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were when you were in your 20s and 30s.
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. He should have that power. Barrios is big and a strong boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he's gonna have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen his last performance.
The exhibition against that big guy.
It was actually embarrassing to see that shit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean?
If Pacquiao wins, what does that do for him? Where does that put him all time?
Come on, at that age, after few years, I don't know how many years he's been out.
Boxing analyst Teddy Atlas brought a technical lens to the conversation, reminding fans that Mario Barrios wasn't originally a welterweight. Having moved up in weight, his size advantage over Pacquiao may not be as significant as it seems on paper. This could level the playing field, according to Atlas, making the bout more competitive than most critics are predicting.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight. And of course we understand Pacquiao has moved up, my God. I don't even know when he first turned pro, you would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean he was
108 pounds, right?
Yeah, jockeys are about 105 pounds, I think, somewhere around that neighborhood. I mean, can you imagine him though going to the whip? He might have killed the horse. That's the only thing. Yeah, you would have had Peter. What is it called? Peter, whatever. Peter. You would have had Peter coming after you. Look what he did to this horse. But look, I love Pacquiao. One of my favorite people. One of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active, who I know you can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit, than when Pacquiao fought him, maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugas fight. I thought that Pacquiao...
Despite Barrios' size, youth, and reach advantage, being 16 years younger and visibly bigger, many seasoned voices in the sport are still backing Pacquiao. Nonito Donaire, a fellow Filipino champion, trusts Pacquiao's unmatched ring IQ. Strength coach Justin Fortune believes Pacquiao looks just as sharp as he did 6 or 7 years ago and even sees a possible stoppage. Juan Manuel Marquez, Pacquiao's old rival, insists that power is the final gift to fate in a boxer, and Pacquiao still has plenty left.
They argue that his speed, ring experience, and warrior spirit make him a legitimate threat, age notwithstanding.
Manny Pacquiao returns to the ring against a young fighter, champion WBC, Mario Barrios. How do you see that fight playing out?
Barrios is a tall guy, and he's a tough guy. You know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because Pacquiao is a champion, the holder of the records of 8 divisions, and he knows how to fight, he knows how to win, so you always got to give it that opportunity for him to show up. And now whoever shows up in that ring, whether it's a desire to win or just try to be there, that's a question that we have to see. But I believe that he has the ability to do something to win the fight again.
So now the question is yours: do you believe that Pacquiao's legendary footwork, speed, and timing can neutralize Barrios' youth, size, and reach? Or is this simply the night where Barrios stakes his claim by stopping a legend in dramatic fashion? Let us know in the comments below.